welcome to a panel discussion by ETRetail on how D2C brands are leveraging tech to penetrate deeper into Bharat. This discussion is a part of ETRetail's Tech Summit, which is slated to happen on 25th of May in Mumbai. Today, tech has become an integral part for any business, and so is for D2C brands. D2C brands started with the purpose to stay closer to their consumers and started banking heavily upon tech to penetrate deeper into Bharat. So today, before we go ahead, we have great panelists with us. Let me introduce you to them. So we have with us Prakher Mathur, who is from Chemist. We have Anshita Mehrotra from FixMyCurls, Jatan Bawa from Perfora, and we have with us Ritika Jayaswal from Naresh Mantra. Welcome you all to our panel. So before we start, I want to know about your brands and how deeper have they penetrated actually into Bharat. So let's start with you, Prakher.
Sure. So our brand name is called Chemist. We are a science-backed, performance-driven skincare brand. We started about 3 years back. We also happen to be sustainable in our efforts. And we are a digitally native brand, so we use tech almost at all levels of marketing, of operations, and various other verticals. So primarily, I think tech plays a major role in terms of distribution and marketing in our category. Right now, since the advent of AI and tools like chatgpt, I think the customer success part is also being solved at a great extent.
So Anshika, tell me about your brand and how deeper has it penetrated into India till now?
So FixMyCurls is a curly and wavy hair care brand. We help people embrace their naturally curly or wavy hair. Mainly we sell hair care products and we're in such a nascent segment that we also started 3 years ago. And I think when we started without tech, without platforms like Shopify, I don't think we would have been able to start because we're still on Shopify. That's just one example, but just generally, I don't think that we've penetrated very deep into Bharat, considering we're more of a tier 1 to tier 2 brand. But definitely even to penetrate as far as we have with the little money that we've spent to do it, we wouldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for tech.
Jatan.
So at Perfora, we're building a holistic oral wellness brand backed by science. Our products are safe and effective. We started about 20 months ago. And from day zero, we were very clear that we want to build a large and scalable oral care brand in the country. And we'll have to, cater to audience living across cities, whether that's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or the Bharat as we call it. We've been very focused on leveraging tech across domains. We feel tech helps us to understand our consumers a lot better in, how can we market them, what kind of products we can bring out based on their preferences, based on where they are located. Tech helps us to, improve our delivery in terms of time taken to deliver an order across India. It helps us to, show products which are relevant for a specific consumer cohort or a customer cohort. So that's what we've been doing. We're primarily a digital first brand that's also starting to go offline because our scale and our reach is something that is going to be fairly significant in the next few quarters. And lastly, we happen to operate in a category which is primarily offline first, but we are trying to change that consumer behavior by making them transact online.
Ritika, how about you?
So Naresh Mantra was launched in the US first, and soon we came to India. And now India has become our bigger market. We are into beauty and wellness categories, so skincare, hair care, and wellness. And in terms of our penetration, our focus started with metros, but now we're at a place where our penetration in tier 2, tier 3 cities has become very large. And our goal on a daily basis is to how quickly we can reach to more and more customers. And I can think of even one step where we don't use tech. So not just in our sales and marketing, but in our operations, but also to understand what are the pain points of our consumers. So even collecting that data has been tech driven now.
So how tech is helping you penetrate deeper into the Bharat?
So firstly, it has D2C has enabled us to be in front of many more people than right now what we could have achieved through offline. Because offline network, even though offline network is, we are able to penetrate deeper, but with our investments and the speed to market is amazing with D2C, and it's also very targeted. So people who are looking for, say, skincare products, or are in that age group, or are looking for certain solutions, they are able to see our ads and then shop with us. So I think that sort of very targeted approach, D2C has enabled that, and that's how we are penetrating.
You talked about omni-channel, planning to go omni-channel, right? So how tech is helping you to go omni-channel and decide which are the right areas that you should go offline with, be it Bharat or be it India, as we call?
Yeah, so I think what we do very interestingly, we have heat maps on our website, right? And we get a fairly decent amount of traffic on our website at a daily level, or a weekly or a monthly level. So we have a team that sort of analyzes where is the traffic coming from, right? So let's say you operate in Delhi. Our team will basically do a deep dive to understand, are we seeing more traffic from pockets of South Delhi vis-a-vis North Delhi, vis-a-vis East Delhi, or vis-a-vis West Delhi, etc. And even they'll sort of double click on those pockets and understand, okay, are we getting traffic more from a Hoskas, or from a Greater Kailash, or from a Saket, or from a Okhla or a Sarita Vihar? All this falls under the South Delhi bracket. And based on that, we'll ask our retail team to start going and visiting those markets where we'll have physical retail outlets, whether those are supermarkets or pharmacies or general trade for that matter. So that is one way that we look at it across. This is the part where we look at store selection, but we also go deeper and understand if there are people who are abandoning checkout. What kind of products did they abandon, right? Because they might have not checked out on our website because they would have faced, or they would have experienced that, okay, hey, I don't trust this brand enough to make a purchase right now, or maybe I'll buy it at some later point in time, or the delivery times is relatively long, maybe I'd want to buy from somewhere else. In those cases, our team basically understands what kind of products are being added to the cart, right? Which helps us to deploy those SKUs in those specific stores. So I think that is one of the ways that we are going omni-channel, trying to sort of set up our offline distribution. We do pin code mapping as well to understand where are we getting a lot of orders from, because if you've bought from a certain pin code and we're seeing a larger percentage of orders coming from a specific pin code, we'd want to make our products available in those neighborhoods as well.
So are you following the same strategy for Bharat also, following the heat map and then going into those areas and doing the research work?
Yeah. So when we speak about Bharat, we're running very small pilots at the moment when it comes to our offline strategy. We have set up something in Srinagar because we were seeing increasingly higher number of interest, abandoned checkouts, visits from Srinagar, and we felt it's a barren land where logistics is unsolved for. So the larger incumbent players in the category wouldn't be focusing on this. So this can actually become a ground for us to try and build our relevancy from a brand perspective. So we're running one pilot in some part of Maharashtra to understand whether this picks up or not. But primarily when we speak omni-channel, we're now focused on tier 1. But digitally, we are very much focused on cracking tier 2 and tier 3 audiences through our in-house digital marketing expertise.
So Anshita, the consumer needs are evolving at a very fast pace. How are you using tech to match those evolving needs?
So I feel like just generally the consumer speaks directly to the brand, especially if you're a D2C brand. You basically know what your consumer wants. It just depends on whether you're ready to act on it or not. Oftentimes, at least for us, what we've gotten from our consumer is that they do want us to be offline, for example, but that's not a possibility for us at the scale we're at right now. It would be difficult. We've also realized that a lot of our customers have a language barrier. So, sometimes they'll DM us on Instagram, for example, and they'll DM us in Hindi. Of course, we can speak Hindi, we can respond in Hindi, but we're better at responding in English. So this is something, of course, tech has enabled us to get better at, and to be able to automate that will take some time because we'd have to automate how we talk to our customers and to make it as efficient as we can for us as a brand, not just them as a customer. But from what we've understood, finding out your customers' needs has actually become very, very easy. It depends on whether you're ready to act on it or not. And in terms of, Bharat versus India, reaching Bharat is definitely harder, and you have to cross that language barrier if you want to become a scalable brand.
Okay, coming to you, Prakher, tell me one thing about that personalization has become a need of the hour these days.
Sure.
So how do you use tech to personalize the needs of the consumers sitting here in tier 1 and metros and alongside the Bharat consumers as well?
Right. So I believe, as you rightly mentioned, that people need personalized and customized experiences for themselves, and tech has enabled us to give those set of ideas or set of instructions wherein consumers can opt in the right. They can navigate through the whole customer success experience. So, for example, as I was talking about, so one of our website engagement tool uses ChatGPT to conversate with the customers. And as it turns out, people are not bothered whether a bot is solving their problem or a human is solving their problem, as long as the problem is getting solved, right? So, these models and these tools have gotten more creative in a sense, rather than pattern recognition. They understand, how to speak like a person, and that has enabled us to, gather more information at just a click of a button. Right. For example, if someone comments that they want to know the price of the product on our Instagram, so they'll get a notification right there in the inbox that this is the price of the product and these are the features that you can use. So I think that has enabled us to connect better. And as long as penetration into tier 2 and tier 3 cities concerned, I think that remains much of a challenge still. Because to understand the needs of tier 2 and tier 3, you need to do a lot of research because the scenario is completely different and is primarily being dominated by legacy brands. So I think as startups, we have to learn a lot from how these legacy brands have built their footprint in these markets. So I think that is still a journey which we are on, and it'll take some time to get there.
So we can say that yes, the brands want to penetrate deeper into Bharat. There are few limitations, and technology is helping the brands to solve those limitations. Yeah. So apart from these technologies, like you talked about ChatGPT, which are the other technologies that you guys have embedded in your brand, which is helping you understand the consumers better. So Anshita, we start with you.
So I feel like for us, we're a very customized, personalized brand. So our approach is a little less tech-driven, I would say. I know a lot of brands actually use tech stacks to talk to their customers. They'll customize those stacks so that the entire conversation journey with their customer is so specific because they know their customer that well. I think for us, again, the segment we're in, which is curly and wavy hair, is at a nascent stage. So when you talk about hair in general, the questions are, about dandruff, or my scalp is oily, or I face this and that. For us, it's even deeper than that. It's what hair type do I have? Why does it look like this? What do I have to use? So I think for us, tech has taken us to the place where we can have these conversations easily. Of course, we're able to reach the customer very quickly. But then the conversation after that, I think for us, we're still at a stage where I don't think are very tech driven. So probably a better question for these guys.
So Jatan, are you using any other technology to stay closer to the consumers?
I think we've integrated technology to a decent level considering our stage and life cycle of the company. To give you an instance, we are the only brand in the country that personalizes electric toothbrush, water flossers, teeth whitening pen, and we do it at scale, right? And there's a fair bit of custom development that's gone behind to ensure that there is flawless execution, right? Just imagine someone from XYZ city placing an order for a toothbrush, getting it name personalized. That personalization happens in India in real time, and then you get that product delivered to you right with like pretty much 99% accuracy, right? So there's a fair bit of technology involved, right from the website order backend to the order management software that we use to the actual processing that happens at a warehouse level to the actual printing that happens in another printing setup that we have enabled in one of our premises. So that's one on the physical product front, because that really enables us to deliver an exceptional experience. Apart from that, we use technology across the board, whether it is in terms of automating our user journey. So the moment you come on our website, and even if you don't make a purchase, we'll try and sort of have a conversation with you, not right at the moment, but probably 10 days down the line, where we would have tried to reach out to you via newsletter or via the phone number that you would have dropped while you were browsing on our website. Similarly, we have tried to sort of look at technology from an advertising perspective as well. We've sort of put in such filters which help us to target consumers a lot better, right? Target consumers based on their specific needs. So for example, if you've bought an electric toothbrush from us, we definitely know that you would be using a toothpaste, right? So how can we sell you more toothpaste, or how can we sell you a teeth whitening product? So all these things we've done based on some internal in-house development and some leverage solutions that are available. So one of the solutions that we use is Pragma. Second is WebEngage when it comes to automating our consumer journeys. So yeah, I think fair bit of technology right from the beginning.
So technology is helping you push complementary products as well.
Technology is helping us to deliver an exceptional experience, right? So our objective is to optimize on the customer experience, right? Right from product to the communication that we're sending out. So that is what technology is enabling us right at the back end and at the front end.
Ritika, how about you? What are the new technologies that you are using these days?
So similar to what Jatan mentioned, the aim for any brand is to give a holistic experience to their users, because now the user journey, the customer journey is not linear. So what happens is, if they see, for example, if they see your ad, it's not like very rarely they just go and check out. They would go on Google, search on the brand, or they would check your prices on Amazon. So they're jumping around at different places to know more about the brand, about your products. Sometimes some people would go see your product with an influencer and then look at and read about the brand. So what we are doing right now is ensuring that all of the touch points, or like whatever information the user is looking about us, we want to be able to answer that. And so in terms of if they happen to come on our website, so if they leave their information, so yes, we have integrated email marketing and now WhatsApp notifications. So and a lot of times we get inquiries on Facebook Messenger. So just automating, and over time now we know that there are certain questions which are very standard. Anyone who comes there, in the top 3 questions, we know the top 3 questions. So how do you put that so that the answer is quick rather than a person typing? Although I would like to say that in our industry also, people still like to pick up the phone and understand. So we are about to start even online consultations. And that is the idea being that it's your personal shopper online.
So are you integrating it with AI for that?
It will be part of AI, part of someone, actually a human talking to you. And so that's the thing, like with AI, if you're able to get more emotional intelligence in it, which a human is able to provide, that would be flawless. But right now, for us, it's a mix.
So live commerce is becoming a big trend these days. Lots of brands are integrating live commerce into their websites. So I just want to know, Jatan, from you, do you have any plans to integrate live commerce going ahead into your website? Where, influencers are actually showing the products and the consumers can buy it from there?
I think we don't have any plans per se, because we would want to see how that as a journey or technology evolves across the board before we implement it. Right now, our focus, and we believe there is a significant delta in terms of delivering an exceptional experience, right from pre-order to post-order to collecting NPS to making sure that customer is repeating over a period of time and is really loving the overall brand and the overall product. So I think that's our major focus. But I've been reading about live commerce and how it has really played a big role in China and other Southeast Asian countries as well. So we're keeping a close eye on it, but right now we don't have any immediate plans to implement at our end.
Prakher, do you have any plans to implement live commerce?
So we did try live commerce with a marketplace a couple of months back. But then again, as the panel has been discussing, the user journey didn't pan out according to the standards that we want to meet. So we had to, wait and see how the ecosystem evolves around it.
So I mean, it's a game of wait and watch that way. So before we close this session, I would like to put a last question to all of you. How are you planning to expand the brand going ahead, and how technology is going to play a great role in that? Let's start with you, Anshita.
So I think for us, probably going from that customized route of talking to our customers to making it more tech-enabled in the sense that it's more automated and we can talk to people at scale without having to have someone sit and speak to them. I think that's something that eventually every brand comes around to, and at the end of the day, tech will enable that, like it's enabled everything for us. I do think to a certain extent for us, we also will use tech the way we've been using it right now to understand where exactly is the demand coming from in India? Where do we need to be in front of the customer? Where is it that in tier 2 and tier 3, if we stand in front of them and talk to them, they will purchase the product? And right now, they're not doing so because they're not convinced. And that does happen with most D2C brands. You actually need to meet the customer, and oftentimes it takes less than 5 minutes for them to make the purchase. So I feel tech can help us get to those cities and get to those people. So perhaps that's the journey we'll be going on to scale.
So Ritika, how are you planning to expand the brand and using tech in that journey? How about you, Prakher?
So I think from a tech perspective, our current set of challenge is to penetrate deeper into the market, of course, and scaling up our website and our other marketplaces as well. I think as technology evolves, we can make more targeted and more contextual marketing campaigns. So we will be exploring a lot of marketing tools and AI-driven solutions to really reach to that set of audiences which we have not reached yet.
Closing note from your side, Jatan?
I think our primary focus this year is to, build brand awareness, which will essentially result in expanding our brand across geographies within India. Fortunately or unfortunately, we operate in a category where one or two brands define the category for us, which is a toothpaste or a toothbrush, and hence we want to break that clutter. We want to educate the consumers that there's a new brand that exists in terms of your choice basket. So our focus will be doing a lot of offline activations from where we are seeing interest, and even in those places where we feel based on our customer interactions that there is a potential for us to go out and build a stronger brand where the competitor might not be focusing a lot. Like I mentioned, Srinagar is one of the areas, or Northeast could be another area, because of not being very well connected to the rest of India. In terms of tech, I think we'll continue to do what we do. We'll continue to analyze consumer behavior, consumer interest, and being very close to the consumer in terms of faster delivery, or setting up dark stores along with another aggregator that we're choosing to work with right now. I think that's what we'll do in terms of expanding our brand and leveraging more technology into the business.
So we can say that brands are not shy of betting big on technology to penetrate deeper into Bharat, to understand consumer needs, and to meet those needs. Thank you for coming on the panel today. It was a pleasure having you all. And if you want to know more about technology and how brands are leveraging it, then be a part of ET Retail Tech Summit happening on 25th of May in Mumbai. Thank you.